Now let's do transaction B. On May 7th, the company bought delivery trucks on account for $25,000. So step one, which accounts are affected? Okay, let's look at our chart of accounts. And the most obvious account is delivery trucks. So the next step is step two, which category does delivery trucks belong to? Well, that's obviously an asset. And is the account increasing or decreasing? Do we have more trucks or less trucks? We have more trucks. And then we need to look at our accounting grid and see if an asset is increasing, is that a debit or a credit? That is a debit. Now let's figure out what the other account is. This one's a little bit trickier. Notice it says bought delivery trucks on account. Remember, if it says we bought something on account, that means we're promising to pay later. So we owe money. So what is the other account that we need to include in this transaction? It's accounts payable. And then which category does accounts payable belong to? Is it an asset, liability, equity, etc.? It's a liability. Step three, is the account increasing or decreasing? Do we have more debt or less debt? We have more debt. It's increasing. And then if a liability like accounts payable is increasing, is that a debit or a credit? Well, for one thing, since the other account is a debit and debits have to equal credits, you know this must be a credit. But always check to see if the pluses and minuses work. And yes, liabilities do decrease on the credit side. So now all we have to do is enter this information into the journal. Now, one thing that's important when entering journal transactions, it's really important in the journal to leave a blank line between transactions, okay? You will get deducted in the homework if you do not leave a blank line in between journal transactions. Otherwise, it becomes super hard to read. All right, so what was the date for transaction B? It was May 7th. And then, so what do we list first? Debits or credits? We always list debits. And what was the debit account? It was delivery trucks. How much? $25,000. Then we list the credit account and we indent it. And what was the credit account? Accounts payable for $25,000. And then we need some sort of explanation such as bought trucks on account. Indenting the description is optional. So now get out your ledger, which is the T accounts, and we need to post this information to the T account. So we're going to find delivery trucks and debit it by $25,000, and then we're going to find accounts payables T account and credit it by $25,000. So let's find delivery trucks. It's in the lower left, and we debited that account. And we put a B in there so we know where that $25,000 came from. Came from transaction B. And then we need to find accounts payable. It's in the upper middle, and we need to credit that with a B. And then our last thing we need to do, double check. On this transaction, do you have a debit and a credit? And do they equal? Yep, so we're good there.